Say for the camera, man.
Nah, the hobby dropping it, man.
He got the real shit, right?
He's dropping it.
Yeah, Killer Priest know what's up.
Yeah, don't
See
sleep
what I'm
on him.
Killer Priest in the building.
He probably getting
This is Killer Priest right here.
He probably didn't know what people be talking about.
Yeah.
But trust me, that dude, he goes in.
He goes in.
Shalom, and welcome to another installment of Apostles of GMS, giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Today's topic is going to be entitled The Bible Root Words, parentheses, Etymology. And the reason why I came up with that topic is because I did a video entitled Captain Tazariak is a secret disciple of GMS. And in that video I was going into the woman was a Greek, a Syro-Phoenician by nation. You can get the scripture. You can get the one in Mark and Matthew's. I know it's in Mark. I think it's in Matthew's as well. But you can go to the one in Mark.
I'll call it
and basically it said the woman was a Greek, a Syro-Phoenician by nation. And I was going to go into it. Then I kind of changed my mind up and I said, you know what? I'm going to leave it to y'all out there to do it. It wasn't an order. You didn't have to do it, and I didn't put it out there as an order, but it was like a challenge I just threw out there. If anybody wanted to, go into it,
on this other page,
it was addressed to the members of GMS and anybody else that wanted to involve themselves into making a response video of that particular topic. Now I know the topic was Captain Tazariak, but it kind of led into
because they have the truth.
The woman being a Greek, a Syro-Phoenician by nation, because somehow it led to how one of the counter videos or the response videos dealing with the situation with Tazariak or Captain Tazariak, where they taught that Cornelius is an Israelite. And one of the brothers that said that they pretty much got the fact that Cornelius was an Israelite based upon GMS. But I believe Yohanan knew about it. Going back to the old school after the split came, it was brought out at the same time it was brought out at the house of David. And that was that's the main reason why we got kicked out, because of the Cornelius issue. All right. So now, with all these different splits, people kind of change things and see that the old school went off on this, or they slightly went off on that. Well, one of the things that they taught back at the old school, what I mean by the old school is One West, is that that particular scripture, the woman was a Greek, a Syro-Phoenician by nation, that was a white woman. So now I'm telling you that she's an Israelite woman, and I'm going to prove that by going into these root words or into the etymon of this word. Meaning that's where the word etymology, the study of really etymon. If I'm not mistaken, doesn't it mean truth? Yeah. It actually doesn't mean words. It means truth. So it means the study of truth. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to go to the etymology dictionary and put in the word etymology to see what they say. Okay? I'll go ahead and read that and you can expound upon it.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 7, verse 24. And from thence he arose and went into the borders of Tyre and Sidon, and entered into an house and would have no man know it. But he could not be hid. For a certain woman whose young daughter had an unclean spirit heard of him and came and fell at his feet. The woman was a Greek. It says a Syro-Phoenician by nation, and she besought him that he would cast forth the devil out of her daughter. Now, I've seen a few of the brothers' videos. They were breaking it down. They were getting down. They went into the maps. They went into some of the history of Syria, and the surrounding areas. They showed maps of the lands that this was speaking of. And basically the woman, she was an Israelite that happened to be in that particular land. You know, she was speaking the Greek tongue, you know, and living in that area. You know, like you had Cornelius, which lived in Caesarea, you know, so that was the province that he was from, but doesn't mean that he was of Caesar's line. You know, he was an Israelite that happened to live in that area. Now, you know, when you look that word Syrophoenician up, it's really broken up into basically two words. The Syro part is Syria, and the Phoenicia part is the Phoenicians, which are the Canaanites. You know, because in that land you had that land first belonged to the Canaanites, and then was turned over to Israel, and it became known as the land of Israel. Now I have a precept here in the book of Acts 15:3, and it says, and being brought on their way, this was Paul and Barnabas, and being brought on their way by the church, they passed through Phoenicia and Samaria, declaring the conversion of the Gentiles or the Israelite foreigners, and they caused great joy unto all the brethren. Now, when I looked up that word Phoenicia in the Greek, the word Phoenicia, which is a church in this place, is Phoinika, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Oh, Phoinike, which the definition is Phoenicia, land of palm trees, a territory of the province of Syria, and situate on the coast of the Mediterranean between the river Eleutherus and promontory of Carmel, some 30 miles, 50 kilometers long, and 5 kilometers broad. So this same land that this woman was from, Paul and Barnabas happened to go there, you know, and we're teaching there. Because matter of fact, I'll start at the first verse real quick. And it says, and certain men which came down from Judea taught the brethren, and said, except ye be circumcised after the manner of Moses, you cannot be saved. When therefore Paul and Barnabas had no small dissension and disputation with them, they determined that Paul and Barnabas and certain other of them should go up to Jerusalem unto the apostles and elders about this question. And being brought on their way by the church, they passed through Phoenicia and Samaria, declaring the conversion of the Gentiles, and they caused great joy unto all the brethren. So they went through that same territory where this woman was from, and declared all the great things that the works that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua had done among the Israelite foreigners. And they caused great joy because they saw that the church was growing. You know, but the point is that this particular land mass, you had Israelites there that Paul taught, you know, which is the same spot where this woman was from. You know, and the reason why I said she was a Syrophoenician by nation was because she was living in that land. And she just happened to be in the place where Yahweh Shai was at that particular time when Yahweh Shai came through that particular land. You know, that's why I said he was in the border of Tyre and Zidon. And matter of fact, I go back in Mark 7:25. For a certain woman, I started 24. And from thence he arose and went in to the borders of Tyre and Sidon, and entered into an house, and would have no man know it, but he could not be hid. For a certain woman whose young daughter had an unclean spirit heard of him, and came and fell at his feet. The woman was a Greek. You know, that's the number one. They said she's a white woman because she's a Greek. No, the word Greek basically means she spoke Greek. It says a Syrophoenician by nation. Why? Because she was living in that land. Just like King David, you know, was Bethlehem was known as the land of King David. You know, that's where he was from.
Uriah the Hittite.
Uriah the Hittite, which is another one. He was an Israelite that happened to live among the Hittites, you know, or among that land. You know,
the land of the Hittites was our land anyway. The land of the Hittites were our land anyway.
You know, because remember, we took over that land. You know, we took it from the Canaanites. You had all them different lands of the Philistines and all that. That we were taking down those places and inhabiting those places.
Simon the Canaanite.
Yep, which was one of the disciples.
Does that mean he was a Canaanite?
This movie, I don't know if they played already. I believe it's coming on. Is it NBC or CBS? One of them, the main stations. anyway, it's on the story of the Lord, so-called Jesus, and they show little clippings, or they played a trailer, and you had